Hey, look at how pretty this is. Thinking about how I think, letting go is a lie that's sold to you by big spirituality to keep you unsatisfied with yourself. Thoughts? There's people passing. I'm gonna try and not be anxious about having a camera. It's a big ass camera too. You guys can't see it, but it's a big ass camera. So I'm going into this little trail. I don't know. I guess I'm making so many videos about this. I'm at a point in my spiritual journey where I'm not on a spiritual journey, if that makes sense. I kind of like when there's like graffiti everywhere, except I don't really like the cans. Guys, there's cans everywhere. But I don't know, at some point I was just kind of like, I'm thinking too much about myself. You know, even if it's in like from the framework of like, how do I improve myself? How do I get closer to God? All the stuff that like is good on its own, but I became so fixated on it. And I'm at this like weird point where I'm like, I'm kind of tired of thinking about myself. I don't know. And I've never been happier. I realized that in this desperate attempt to forget myself, I've just reinforced everything that I didn't like about myself. I would write every day, like for literally years in my journal. I'd be like, I need to be more disciplined. I need to be more this, or that. And then I was like, yeah, I'm spiritual. No, I'm not. Like, I'm literally not, because all I'm thinking about is how shitty I am. I'm just saying that it's like, I'm just making up this lie to myself that it's in the effort of bettering myself. But I think actually bettering yourself is to just shut the fuck up, dude. Just shut up. Just realize, like, you're sitting here. Like, even right now, I'm talking about myself, and look where I am. Like, it's just beautiful. Life is so beautiful, and why are you, like, I don't know, why are you thinking about yourself? Life isn't about you. Like, it's really not. I don't know, I'm definitely projecting, and, this is more of like a video journal than it is, life advice, definitely. Even now I'm, like, looking at myself and not at the camera. But, I don't know, I think it's such a crazy, funny paradox of spirituality where, like, you become so obsessed with yourself, even if it's like, oh, like, you know, you want to meditate all the time, do all this stuff, and it's like, I don't know, and I love meditating, oh my god, but you know, my version of meditating is like, just when my brain turns off when I'm like hysterical laughing with friends. I have a pretty weak pelvic floor, so I end up peeing myself a lot, and that's like the best time of my week, dude. That's what I think meditating is, when I'm just not even thinking about myself, you know? Because that's the thing too, is just, I don't know. The biggest thing that I tell people about meditating, because I tell people that I meditate and they're like, how do you do that? Because it's hard, it's really hard. And the best thing that I learned was just listen to yourself. So I do it when even right now, I feel like I'm in this state where I'm just observing everything. I'm just listening to myself, and you'll be so insanely surprised, and I mean, at least in my sake, disgusted by what's going on up there. Like the internal monologue. If you just take a second and you listen, like if you just sit down and all you do is listen. My sock is like going up my ugh right now. You just take a second and you listen, and then you're like, damn, why am I talking right now? Like, just like to yourself, I mean, or just like in general, I think I'm at a point where I don't really talk as much as I used to, which is crazy because I used to be like, you know, I was such an attention little freaky whore. I was such an attention whore, and like I talked and I talked and I talked, and I talk about how I was spiritual, which is so funny because like, no, I wasn't. If I'm talking, like, you know what I mean? It's like the kind of thing where like, if you say that you're Buddhist, you're not really Buddhist because you're identifying with Buddhism, and that's the whole point of like Buddhism is you're not doing that. Anyway, the best like self-care spirituality tip I could tell you is to shut up. And to stop thinking about yourself, even if it's like you want to better yourself. Like, no, like I found that I've seen the most improvement in myself when I just don't pay attention to it. Like, I've been so focused on writing and schoolwork. I love my schoolwork. I'm a TA this semester for a class that I love. And I just, you know, I just kind of abandoned spirituality. And since I did that, oh, look at how pretty this is. Since I did that, I found myself doing things that I used to have to beg myself to do. And I found myself just being so happy, like, all the time because the focus wasn't on me anymore. Yeah, that's kind of it. Spirituality is like funny like that because in this like very respectable, you know, desire to get rid of the ego, you become so like, it just strengthens the ego because you become so hyper aware of all the things you need to improve upon. And it's such a common pipeline of like, you know, you're depressed, you reach like dark night of the soul, and then you're like, oh shit, like spirituality, and then you're happy, you're happier than you used to be, but you're still at this like weird plateau of just not satisfied with yourself because you're spiritual. At least that was me. Maybe I actually hope that I'm wrong and that everyone else is having an amazing time with their spiritual journey. But yeah.